Hello, and thanks for joining me. So, how are you feeling these days about things going back to normal, whatever that is, or opening up again? When I'm talking to people, they have a variety of different feelings about this. And some are chomping at the bits. They just can't wait to be out living it up again. But a lot of people are really a lot more anxious for a number of reasons. And some of the reasons are just not wanting to go back to the lifestyle that they had before. For many people, quote unquote, normal was really stressful and was actually burning them out. The running around, a lot of running around, the daily commute, meetings, you name it. And then, of course, scheduling the kids after school and seeing people on top of that socially. It was a lot. It was a lot for a lot of people. And so a lot of people have expressed to me that they're really not thrilled about going back to normal, or they're hesitant. They have some anxiety about it. And the other piece that people have been saying somewhat, or some people have been saying, I'm just not even sure I know how to socialize anymore. Or, I feel like there are going to be a lot of awkward conversations, and I feel like I have a new level of social anxiety than I ever had before. So this is normal, of course. We've gone through this drawn out experience of being told we should be staying inside, and some of us have gotten really used to that and even gotten comfortable with it. And so to transition out of that is its own different, strange process. Now, one thing I would like to say is, what if we don't have to go back to the way it was? If anything, it seems like the big pause that we had was an opportunity to recalibrate and maybe reevaluate some of our priorities. Now, a lot of people talk to me about, well, what about this pressure I'm going to feel? There's going to be a pressure again, pressure to go back to the office, pressure to do all these social events, pressure to see family. Some people are excited to see their families, other people not so much. So, what do we do in this situation? And I think it's a great opportunity to to set up some new boundaries for yourself, for one thing, to just really settle into, what do I want to create? What life do I want to create moving forward? And really getting used to and comfortable with saying no to things. I mean, no has been the default for the past year. And, we've gotten used to it, and it's been easier for some people to listen to what they really want and what they really need. And a lot of times that's been less activity, less social events. And so this is an opportunity to really listen into that. I'd say listening is one of the most important things we can take out of this pandemic. Again, a lot of people have had the opportunity to have some more reflective time, to have some more quiet or downtime. Not everybody, but some people have had that. Or just the realization that, you know what, I was burning myself out before, and it feels really good not to have to do that again. So does this mean we're all going to be shut-ins if we say no to things? Absolutely not. It just means you're going to be more deliberate about what you do take on or what you do choose to do. And being more deliberate, being more intentional, that can only be good for you. It's quality over quantity. And I think there is this opportunity to say no to more things. I mean, I know as offices open up, there's going to be a lot more room, I think, for negotiation at a lot of companies in terms of, well, how often do I actually have to do the commute? How often do I have to really be in the office? And some offices may start very gradually, and others may say, no, you got to be in here, at least 3 days a week. And I would say that's a good opportunity to advocate for yourself as well. If you're thinking, I really need to start at one day a week, that's kind of what I can do right now, then by all means, ask for that, advocate for yourself. I think there's an opportunity for that now because everybody's in a similar boat. No one really knows what this transition is going to look like. And I'm sure it's going to be very uneven, and many people are going to be easing into things as we should. So, but this idea of listening to yourself, really listening to yourself, not just having yes be the default, not just over scheduling yourself because that used to be normal. But listen, what actually really feels like a yes? When someone invites you to something, or even again, your workplace says, got to be here 3 days a week. What feels like a yes? And if any of it feels like a maybe, then I would say give yourself a little time to think about it, or figure out if that's something you might actually want to either say no to or negotiate. It really is about taking care of ourselves and learning to listen to ourselves better. I mean, we've been in this fever pitch of a culture. It's been speeding up the pace of life for the past few decades to a point where, again, I feel it's pretty unhealthy for most people. Some rare individuals have constitutions that allow them to sleep very little and just go, go, go. Most of us need rest, downtime, sleep, quality time, a quieter schedule. And I'd say now is the opportunity to really embrace it, to really seize it and move forward with it. Now, I keep coming back to this concept of listening because I feel like listening is something that we have been programmed out of. The forces outside of us that are guiding us, and sometimes very well intentioned, it might be parents or family members or mentors who are guiding us in a certain direction. And we internalize messages about how we should be living our lives, down to what career we should choose. And the same goes for a lot of the peer pressure that we get to show up in a certain way. And of course, you see that exhibited on social media, but that sort of thing has been around way before social media. This idea of keeping up and looking a certain way, presenting a certain outward appearance to the public. So, but all of that leads us to this place in which we're not listening to ourselves. We're not paying attention to what we actually need, whether that means more downtime, whether that means fewer extracurricular activities, whether that means a different job, whether that means whatever it means for each person. But it's it's been conditioned out of us in many ways. This idea of listening to our own intuition or our own needs, our own desires, and really being able to hear that on a regular basis. Now, I think now is really the opportunity to begin some deep listening. What do you really want this next stage of your life to look like? Do you want it to be this crazy frenzied life that you used to have? Or would you rather have a higher level of quality in your life, more quality time with family, friends, quality versus quantity again? And how much do you really need to output? I think we had this idea that we needed to be outputting all the time. And I think that's not true. And that there's for most of us a lot less that we can be doing. So, how good are you at listening to yourself? most people will say, well, yeah, I can hear my gut sometimes, or I hear my gut, but then I second guess it, or I don't even know what my gut is. I get confused because, what's the difference between my gut and the voices in my head, you know? So it's that, of course, it's that deeper, quieter voice that you often can hear most easily in the quiet, most easily when you have some time to just sit and reflect. Doesn't mean you have to hear it then, but that tends to be when the chatter in our minds quiets down. That tends to be when that voice becomes more noticeable. But in general, it's when you start feeling yourself, when someone asks you to do something and you feel that little, like, uh, I should, or I feel obligation, but it feels like a wall within you. That's when take a minute, think about it before you just default to yes. Think about that's something that you really want to do. And so then to the social anxiety piece, it's a similar thing in that you don't have to do everything all at once just because things are opening up again. And again, there are going to be people who want to be out there doing everything all at once, like now. And some people already have been doing that. But again, it's an opportunity to ease back into things. You go at your own pace, what feels right for you. And some people have said to me that what feels right for them right now is just seeing like people one on one, or seeing two people at a time. They're not ready for big groups, they're not ready for big parties. Listen to that. Go with what feels good to you. And if someone's trying to apply pressure, well, that's kind of their problem. And listen to the fact that it's not resonating with you, because ideally everyone will be respecting everyone's pace and the way they want to handle this transition. And so if someone isn't respecting your pace or timing, then that's something I would say to question. But ultimately, yeah, you might have a few more awkward conversations getting back out there into the world. So take it slow, go, say yes to something, go try it out, see how it is. Maybe it'll feel like home, or maybe it'll feel a little weird. And then come back in, shake it off until you feel like you're ready to do it again. But again, ease, taking it at the pace that feels right for you. There's no need to give in to any external pressure. You get to do this the way you want to do it. So those are my thoughts on this transition back into quote unquote normal. And just overall though, I think we could all agree to some degree that the old normal, while there are many things that we miss about the old normal, there are many things we don't miss. And there are many things that I'd say a lot of us are really happy to have had time to get away from. And we don't need to jump back into that. So take this opportunity for yourself. You owe it to yourself. All right. Well, I hope that you can enjoy this transition a little bit, and really seize it, seize the opportunity, seize the opportunity to say a few more no's, and really be clear about the yeses. But I'll be talking more about these topics over the next several weeks here and there, because it's going to be a transition for sure. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope that you will join me again next week.